guys, welcome back to Scott Family Homestead. Today we are preparing for some barn cats. It's a little bit cold in here, so we have a little bit of a unique setup for them to handle the cold winters right now. And I'm going to show you how we try to get our barn cats to stick around. So these cats are coming from a local humane society. Our county humane society does not have barn cats, but just the next county over does. So they do all of the vet care. They get the cats fixed and all of their vaccines, and they get them chipped. And then you can pick up these cats and bring them to your home. And they give you some guidance on how to keep them in the barn and how to kind of train them. Some barn cats just do not stick around. They're very feral. If you're getting a barn cat from a humane society, they have deemed that it is not a cat that can be adopted out to a family or to a home. And so these are very feral, sometimes unfriendly cats. And our goal is just to have them as mousers and to kind of watch over the farm. We do have one barn cat right now, and he is lonely. So we wanted to get a friend for him. So we actually chose two cats, and we're gonna set up a little home for them in the barn. They will be in kennels. Nice large kennels. They're about 5 foot by 5 foot with a little heated hut and heated water. They will get soft food and hard food every day, and they'll have their little litter box in there. And I'm going to show you kind of how we do this and how we set everything up. We got two barn cats previously, and we have one that just occasionally shows up on the security cameras. They were both indoor-outdoor cats for a while. And the one we just saw less and less, kind of wandering further and further, and my suspicion is that he has found a new home where they're probably feeding him really well. And so we just have the one barn cat right now. So we're going to bring these two, knowing full well that these two do not know each other. They are not bonded. They are probably going to need an adjustment period, especially with our current barn cat. And so we have to try to get all three of them to get along. So let me show you our setup, and then we'll go from there. We have one of our kennels already set up over here. This is what we used for our other barn cats because they were bonded, they were brothers, and we kept them both in here. You do with these have to tie down the top because they will try to get through there. So we're gonna have to do something to secure that top better, or they will be able to climb out. But otherwise, the size of this kennel works really well, and they're pretty affordable. This was $179 at Tractor Supply. We got this one a couple years ago. We've used it for many things, including if we need to separate out an animal because we're selling it, or have some chickens we need separated for some reason. We use these little kennels, so they're worth the money in my opinion. This is how the kennel comes, and so it has support bars for the roof. Otherwise, it just unfolds, and you can connect all of these panels together pretty easily. So we're going to go ahead and open this up, and then it has a canopy top. It is a little bit tricky because it is 5 foot by 5 foot. You can't just put plywood over top. You'd have to do multiple sheets of something. So we're going to try to use the canopies and just secure them better. This essentially just unfolds, and then you attach the last two ends together with these clips. This works really well if you've got the space for it. Last time I tried to open this up in exactly 5 foot wide room, and it was very, very difficult. But today it'll be nice and easy. We got a couple of packages from Chewy. I bought all this myself. We're not sponsored or anything. First up, we've got heated waters. One for each of them. And Zach, our current barn cat, has his own. The recommendation from the Humane Society was to put their water bowl on a towel. I do not trust these just because they're a fire hazard to have them on a towel. If you are doing this in the summertime, just to keep them dry, a towel underneath their food and water is a really good idea. I am going for fireproof, if at all possible, in this old barn. So we're going to put this directly on the cement. I've already got the litter box in there. With the litter box, they also recommended a non-clumping, just clay litter for in the barn. Zach and his brother were sharing a hut, so we got the bigger cat houses for them. And he's still using that, and the other one doesn't have the heat mat anymore. So I got new huts for these cats, and we just went with the little ones this time. We hopefully don't have a ton of cold weather left this year, since it's almost March. I think this will work for their size really well. And then I was able to affordably get 2 of them. The bigger ones are a little bit more expensive. The other option that you have is if you are bringing them home in a cat carrier, you can just put the cat carrier in one of the corners of your kennel. But we definitely want a little bit of heat right now. There's 2 types of heat mats that you can get. One is it just absorbs and reflects the heat back from the animal. The other ones are actually ones that you plug in and they generate heat. So we use the plug-in ones because it does get really cold. We are in the basement of a barn. They're protected from the wind really well down here, but I think the heat definitely helps. This is very much a get what you pay for type thing. Super hard to zipper. This zipper actually completely busted. I'm going to try to get it closed up because we need it today, but I do not recommend. It's the Thermo Mod Kitty Shelter by K&H. They're actually the ones that made our other one that worked fine. But these little guys are a nightmare to try to zip up. Okay, the kitties have arrived. They were pretty hard to get into the carriers, so I think they're gonna want to kind of hide out in there for a while. So we're gonna leave the carriers in there. We haven't let them out yet, but we're gonna leave the carriers in there as a place for them. That has their towels in it, and they've got a couple of toys in there, just things that they're used to from the shelter. They've got their heated huts here. Heated water, we're gonna get that filled up. I've got some hard food and we got some soft food here for them. We've got towels here so it's not quite so cold. There's a lot of cement in here and it is very cold in this barn right now. And then we've got litter boxes for each of them with non-clumping litter. And hopefully they'll settle in here. It's not supposed to be terribly cold after the next couple days. So it's going to cool down for a little bit and then we're starting syrup season. So it's going to be kind of those warmer temperatures during the day and freezing at night. I think these setups will work just fine for them in here. And hopefully after a couple of weeks, we'll be able to let them start out to roam the barn and hopefully they get along with Zach okay. And hopefully they stick around. So you're never really guaranteed that with barn cats. You never really know if they're going to kind of find a place at home. They're used to being on the run and being feral. They said that both of these were picked up by police officers. They found them as feral runaway cats and they're not super friendly right now. So hopefully, because we're in the barn a lot, they'll get used to us and our voices over the next couple weeks and maybe they won't be quite so timid. We will just have to see. So that's our setup for now. And I know other people do this differently and that's okay. But I have seen people asking questions about barn cats and kind of how to get them to stick around. And this is how we do it. It is a little bit easier if you have a kitten and a current barn cat because the kitten will kind of follow and watch and learn how to mouse. And while that's a really good option, we chose to give a home to some of the barn cats at the shelter that would not be adopted otherwise. And now Zach will hopefully have a couple of friends here. So we're gonna go ahead and very carefully open up their cages and they might just stay in there. They might explore, it's hard to say, but we're gonna go ahead and let them into their enclosures now. This is our long-haired cat. I think we're gonna name them, since we're doing like spices and herbs. We might go seasonings on these guys. We're thinking of naming this one Montreal. The boys want to call him Monty.
I like it.
They're both boys, so.
You let them out?
Yeah, but don't let them like out. I'm not sure how you do that, but I think he's scared enough to kind of not bolt. All right.
One done.
So cat number 1. Hi, sweetheart. And we've got a black cat over here, also a boy. Kids are talking about naming this one Taco.
Tackle.
Taco seasoning.
Hey, Zach. You were too friendly.
All right. They are safely in their enclosures. Hopefully we'll come out and explore tonight. So this is Zach, our current barn cat. So hopefully he will adjust to the new ones. He tolerates me. He's pretty friendly. He comes in the house. He's kind of indoor-outdoor cat. He spends the nights out here, but he does spend a little bit of time indoors too. He's got his eye on the food. He's like, fresh food. Hey, bud, look. So we'll update you guys and let you know how the barn cat situation goes. If you've got any advice, I'd love to hear it. We'd really like these guys to stick around and be some mousers, because man, do we have mice.
So much nice.
So many mice. So thanks for following along. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.